Hey Doobs, how we doing today? Welcome to another fantastic installment in the DOOBISODE series. Kind of just a fun little episode series I try to do once a week to catch up with y'all, talk the gaming news, have some chill jams in the background, compliments of Square Enix, so thank you so much for that. This is so much fun. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit, get really bright, and you're thinking, whoa, dude got a haircut, whoa, what's up with that? Well, the quarantine finally got to me. And I just went Britney Spears on it, and I just shaved it all off because it was just getting in the way. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. I'm still the same Doob here, just with a brand new, fresh look. And yeah, just want to get over the gaming news. We got the movie of the week coming, and just a bunch of other little tidbits. And I really want to talk about just my workplace experience with in the industry. And when I say in the industry, I mean Gamestop and Best Buy and Target, you named it. I've worked all the retailer sites and just want to kind of delve into that a little bit. Not really sure how long these episodes just kind of go on as long as I have stuff to say. I'm sorry if it kind of drags on a little bit, but I just love games. I have a lot of commentary that I just love to share, and if you're interested, hey, then join in. If not, then just keep on. Yes, bald Doob, yay, let's go. We got the fresh cut look and everything. Yeah, I just need to start fresh. I was getting a little too caveman there. So yeah, guys, speaking of caveman, speaking of Wolverine, I'm gonna start off with the movie of the week here. Really want to talk about that. Hey Drax, good to see you, by the way, man. But yeah, movie of the week from Wolverine to Charles Xavier is Logan. Yes, I did have originally, I had another movie planned. Yeah, young Heisenberg. Anyway, I did have, hey Jeff, good to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in. I did have another movie of the week planned, but I recently rewatched this one, and I just need to talk about that, and I connected with it so much. It kind of reminded me of when I was talking about Toy Story 4 a little bit. I know that's kind of a weird connection there, but it really has a big theme of what left do we have to give, and how do we continue forward? And this is Hugh Jackman's supposedly last foray as Wolverine. This came out in 2017 already. Yeah, so it's already a couple years old, but this movie was incredible. It's not your average run-of-the-mill Marvel movie. This is a artsy, fantastic, close, introspective look at the end of the life of Wolverine. Spoiler alert, by the way. I don't want to give too much away here, but it's such a great Hugh Jackman's last foray into Wolverine, and he really gets into the character here. It's actually based on the Old Man Logan comic series. I'm not really sure how many of those there were, but when I watched this movie, I connected with it, and I grew up with X-Men. Watching the old 90s cartoon, all that stuff. And then I really got in the movies. I think the first X-Men 1 came out in 2000, and then they've kind of been pooping those movies out every couple of years or so. But this one is special. This is the special one. Yes, they did really mess up the X-Men timeline, and I like First Class and Days of Future Past for what they did. And they still have Huey in there here and there, but this is a true not a superhero movie. Yeah, I would love if they did. I would just want to bring that up. Jeff brought up that they want Hugh Jackman MCU, and that's kind of said and done. I think we kind of, if they brought in Hugh Jackman, they really should have done it during the first foray into the idea that they were doing with the Avengers and stuff. I think that's kind of all said and done. Maybe we'll see something. Maybe with Deadpool, we'll see a Hugh Jackman revitalization. But I think this is the true swan song. For me, this is like Metal Gear Solid 4. This is the true finale of a really old, beaten, tattered character who Hugh Jackman, I think, has really evolved, especially in this movie. I think in the older X-Men's, we do get glimpses. I think the first X-Men, the one in 2000, is still probably the best X-Men as a whole. Maybe an unpopular opinion there. Definitely not X2 or X3. Yeah, anyway, just going back to I really do recommend this movie. It's just so much more than a Marvel movie. It's so much more than a superhero movie. It's almost an art film, and I think they released this movie in black and white. And if you watch this movie and give it the time of day and really look as Hugh Jackman, and maybe you'll connect with it more if you watched all the other X-Men movies. And I actually really do like X-Men Origins Wolverine. I thought that would, I actually think that was a great start. And then the next one, there's a trilogy of these X-Men movies, and I think they're all done actually really well with different actors and directors. But this one, this is a small cast movie about an older Logan, an older Wolverine that is kind of just living. And I just love these old gritty. It still has great action sequences. Daphne Keane, the little girl that is in this movie, it does definitely has a Last of Us vibe here, kind of the road. It's got that older gentleman with a younger girl traveling in a desperate escape for survival and getting somewhere. And it's got great references to source material and the X-Men as a whole. And I had to replace my original movie of the week with this one because I can't stop smiling every time I watch this movie. I think Hugh Jackman is an amazing Aussie-ish actor. He definitely has the chops and the mutton chops to bust out this role. And if this is his last Wolverine movie, that's fine by me. I'd only like to see him more because I love the man, and I love everything he's done in his career as far as Les Mis and just a lot of his other older movies like Swordfish and stuff like that. I mean, he's got a great repertoire and resume of movies. But this movie is really just true in its themes of giving to the next generation, doing what you can, and I'm really all about that. And I just had to make this the movie of the week because in case you haven't seen it or want to talk about it with me, or just leave a comment. If you like the movie, that'd be awesome. I don't want to talk on too much. I have a lot of kind of want to get into this Doobisode, but just looking at the picture, it just start to finish, and it takes place in a really darker, grittier, kind of its own timeline, what if scenario. They really did mess up the whole X-Men timeline. I actually just saw Dark Phoenix, which is why I kind of rewatched Logan. Dark Phoenix was okay. It did some things. They had the people I like to see, like Evan Peters as Quicksilver and Beast, and I really like the Beast mini love story with not even a love story, just a connection with Mystique and J-Law. That was a cool little. They had cool moments, but Dark Phoenix got me thinking about Logan. I had to watch Logan, and it became the movie of the week because this is just such a great film, period. I think it was up for like some sort of award, definitely some sort of award here. The acting is top notch. It's a thrill ride start to finish, especially if you're a fan of X-Men. Highly recommend it. But anyway, just speaking of movies here, I'm just going to get rid of this. I've been reading some things recently about Star Wars, and now that we're kind of past everything, I just kind of want to talk about a little interview I heard with Daisy Ridley, and I guess she was talking about, where's the love? Why doesn't everybody love Star Wars? Because I think the Skywalker saga was very divided amongst fans, and I thought the first one was very good. This is just some movie talk because I'm a big fan of movies, as you all know. I think everyone here in the chat really likes Star Wars, and if you guys have anything to say, yeah, let me know. I thought, the first one, the first Star Wars was great. The one that kind of got it back into it, and then we had Last Jedi, and and the whole Skywalker saga. But people were very divided amongst the story and kind of where it went, and I think people were a little off-put about the kissing scene and just stuff like that in the last movie. But I thought it was great. I love that they brought back Palpatine. But just talking about the movie, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I think Daisy Ridley is, a lot of people put a lot of hard work into these movies, and you just can't please everyone. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but if we can just search a little deeper and find the appreciations, I know the super hardcore nerdy fans like me have a lot to say, and that's why, I have this kind of Doobisode podcast just to kind of talk it over. But I think we've all had time to really digest how we feel about Star Wars currently and maybe where it's going. There's a lot of lot of different options there where they can go, and the like movies like Solo, and the kind of the more independent the films that they kind of started doing, and they kind of altered with mainline trilogy, and then movies like Solo, and God, I can't think of the other one though. The other Solo independent, the one that came before Solo. Those were really great. But if you can find your heart to just appreciate a film for what it is, and the loads of money and the production value that go in these, sometimes you just have to be like, you know what? I appreciate the work they put in here. I'm just glad we got a new Star Wars trilogy. I think we've all been wanting that, even if it's not from George Lucas, or even if you didn't want it from George Lucas after the prequel trilogy. I actually personally really do enjoy the prequel trilogy, because I think I look deeper and I just see what it is, and ho-hum, especially with technology getting better, and just trying to make the best movie you can. I think as soon as the turn of the millennia came, and computer generation was getting, CGI was getting really good, I think everyone just got really excited that we could finally do things without animatronics, even though the first Jurassic Park still really holds up really well because it is all animatronics. It's real. Nothing to very little is actually CGI in the first Jurassic Park. I think it's for the most part pretty real and holds up really well, and then it gets really crazy in Jurassic Park 3, and I'm not even going to go into Kingdom and all that. But yeah, just want to be like, thank you, Daisy Ridley. Thank you for everyone that gave us the new trilogy of Star Wars. I thought it was awesome. I saw it back in December when it came out. Had a great time with it, especially Harrison Ford coming back in. Spoiler alert, by the way. But I'm sure most of you have seen it. But if you haven't, just check it out. I think there's a lot of cool fan moments that they do, and then they kind of take in their own hands, and they're like, look, guys, we're still making this movie. But you just give it a whirl. If you're watching a movie, just try to look at it in a different lens. Don't try to have the complete nerdy, I know everything lens, because I do that a lot too. But sometimes we just gotta sit back, let the movie roll, get to the credits, and then maybe really think about it critically. I think that's just important, that we just don't bash something right away. I think that's really important. But yeah, guys, just wanted to have a little tidbit about Star Wars there. Anyway, moving on with some gaming news here. Let's get to that, because that's what we are, mainly a gaming focused channel, and I love the games and I love talking about it with you guys. So yeah, the first thing, I'll get in this a little bit. I just want to announce kind of something that's really exciting that's been just announced. Yes, we have the new, is this coming up? I can't tell. Nope, here it is. We have the, there it is. Yeah, we have the new Dark Pictures anthology chapter that was announced for a summer 2020 release, called Little Hope. So this is the next episode from the Dark Pictures anthology, Man of Medan, which I still haven't played yet. I know I'm a little bit of a poser talking about it here, but I just wanted to give it its light here. I'm gonna play it soon. I'm really surprised I haven't played Man of Medan yet. But these games, I'm a big fan of these story-driven, choice-based narrative games, and I really just want to just shed light on this, that games are still being made. I know it's a really tough time. By the way, I hope you're all staying safe. Hope you're all having a great day. Sometimes I don't mention that just because I forget we wake up in a pandemic. But thank you so much for watching. But yeah, I do want to do a trailer reaction soon. I figured how to do that, but I figured I'd just put this out and just share the general news that, yeah, they did announce, and they're coming out these quick. This is a Bandai Namco produced game, by the way, and actually developed by Supermassive Games, who did make Until Dawn, and I loved Until Dawn. I mean, the game, I think that was really one of the first PS4 games that that came out and that people really wanted to play. Actually, it had a great cast. It had Hayden Panettiere. It had Iceman from X-Men. Speaking of X-Men, it had Iceman. It had a lot of great cast people. It had the guy who played in the Queen's movie. Just a lot of different people. So check it out. Yeah, definitely. Until Dawn. I think it's a free game. I think it's on PlayStation Now. If you have that, it was a free game. And I do have some fun little tidbits for free games here in a little bit, but I just want to give general shout outs to another Dark Pictures anthology coming out with a great cast. It's going to look awesome. And yes, I will stream Man of Medan at some point here. I'm really bummed I just didn't pick that up because games are getting a little harder for me to pick up. There's just so much to play. I don't get to everything, but eventually I do. And you guys know where I'm going from, though. Just I love the games, and if you're into these kind of more story-driven games, keep on the lookout for this one, summer 2020, for this game. So we'll see that coming up here soon. Just wanted to talk about that because I really do love these games. Until Dawn was really good and just really expertly crafted, and that game was originally supposed to come on the PS3. This game was in the works for years. I actually did go to a Walker Stalker Con in Chicago. It's kind of like it's almost kind of like a Comic-Con, just a smaller version, kind of more specific on shows and comics based on shows. And actually, the dude that was in Until Dawn, he was doing Legends of DC, or he was doing some sort of Heroes or some sort of show. And someone actually asked the guy a question about Until Dawn, and I thought that was really cool just to get that live experience where people, you know they IMDb you actors all the time. You guys aren't safe. Well, we're asking you the real questions because Until Dawn was in development for a long time, and it finally came out on PS4, and it looks great. And if you haven't played it, just it's a great game to play, and Dark Pictures to play with someone, and they even added some kind of multiplayer function where you can kind of choose individually, choose your own character, or how you want to go about it, and you can play online. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll do that with one of you guys if you get Dark Pictures. We'll check that out. But yeah, just wanted to bring that up here real quick. I know we got more coming on here, but just wanted to give a general shout out to Dark Pictures here. Yeah, I have some other quick just tidbits and news. I just have some pictures for the things that I really want to talk about, but just to kind of go down the list here, looks like Sony is kind of going crazy with buying IPs and really trying to revitalize them. So yeah, we have this is some news reiterated from some of my other live streams, but I just want to have it here in the DOOBISODE for you guys to really share your thoughts and comments and let me know what you think, just in all one nice little package. But yeah, we have Sony is going crazy buying their IPs. Looks like they're really trying to revitalize Silent Hill for a PS5 reboot, and I'm still so hoping for that. I guess they're Hideo Kojima, who was originally directing Silent Hills with Norman Reedus, and then eventually Konami kicked him the boot. We all know that ugly story. But then they went on to make Death Stranding, which was also really equally great in my opinion. I know that game was a little divided, but anyway. Sony is buying just a bunch of IPs, trying to acquire a lot of licenses because it looks like Xbox will become super hard next gen. I think they have a lot of games in the back burner. I mean, we saw that trailer for Hellblade 2. It looks phenomenal. I mean, the facial recognition and everything looked great. But yeah, Sony is trying to acquire what they can. I know they acquired Insomniac Games as being a first party. They made Marvel Spider-Man, and looks like we did get a leak. Looks like for sure we're getting Marvel Spider-Man 2, and I think we've actually got some details about that. But so you got Insomniac. And they have some other a Sucker Punch I think might be first party. We are getting Ghost of Tsushima supposedly in June. That might get pushed back, but just another game to look out for. Ghost of Tsushima going to be a AAA developed PS4 exclusive that I can't wait for. We were going to get The Last of Us Part 2 already next month, but that's been delayed indefinitely now. That's really sad. We were about to have some great string of games. I almost kind of appreciate the break so I can catch up on some stuff. But yeah, so Sony is getting Silent Hill, trying to reboot. Apparently, they might be trying to acquire Metal Gear Solid, and we might be getting another true Metal Gear Solid on PS5. We'll see about that. I mean, man, I think the deal was, I kind of look on my gaming news websites, and just to get the quick tidbits. Huge shout outs to What Culture Gaming and Young. Yeah, I really like those channels. If you guys know about those, you know what I'm talking about. They cover everything, but I just want to give those guys general appreciation for inspiring me to make this channel. But yeah, anyway, Where was I? So yeah, we were really talking about yeah, the Metal Gear Solid and Hideo Kojima. So Metal Gear Solid has been just a huge passionate franchise, and I really hope to see this game come back in a strong way. Hideo Kojima is probably super busy. He's probably got a lot of projects. He's already kind of announced that he's maybe making a horror game coming up. So I really hope it is Silent Hills. Horror games are coming back, especially with Resident Evil, and I do have some Resident Evil news in a little bit here. But yeah, Hideo Kojima is a busy man, and whatever he puts out next, I'm like 90% sure it's going to be a Silent Hill game, and this thing will go through. And it sounds like, yeah, Konami is going to be just kicked. They're going to get some revenue. They're going to get a % of sales, because Konami is just pachinko machine money grubbing a-holes right now. And I cannot respect them for what they did to Hideo Kojima and not letting him accept his Game of the Awards award back in like 2013, 2004, 2016 now, I think it was 2015, something like that. But yeah, Phantom Pain, I really did like Phantom Pain. I finally did play it, but MGS4 is my true Metal Gear swan song. If you guys played that, let me know what you think about Metal Gear Solid. But yeah, so we got through kind of that stuff here, and yeah, I guess I'll just get this going on here. Yeah, speaking of Resident Evil, I guess we had a huge leak on man, Capcom is just on a roll. Okay, so let's just start from the beginning here. They had Resident Evil 2 remake come out early 2019, and they announced it a couple of years ago. We Do It, they had that huge video of We Do It. You can even find the in-game Easter egg. So and then they announced they've been working on it for a while. They announced the Resident Evil 2 remake in 2018 at E3. God, like the last good E3. Comes out January, and I do have this awesome Leon statue that I do really just wanted to show you guys, because I got the collector's edition, and this thing is just cool as hell, and I love my swag, and I'll talk about the GameStop stuff in a second here. But yeah, so we had Resident Evil 2 come out. We had Resident Evil 3 remake announced later that year. It was actually in a PlayStation video, kind of like the Nintendo Direct. So it was like the PlayStation Direct they announced it in. So we got that, and then we had Resident Evil 3 remake come out, just 2 weeks ago now. And Resident Evil 2 remake is objectively the better game if you want to play a Resident Evil game. I'd say they're both great games. I love RE3. There's just the content. I think they just kind of went too quick. And apparently, so yeah, speaking of, they're already working on a Resident Evil 4 remake. And if my buddy Jeff is still watching, he loves Resident Evil 4, and I think a lot of people would super love an RE4 remake. I've been checking the Facebooks and the YouTubes, and again, it's divided. But for me personally, I do have a picture here of Leon from RE4, and then a picture from Claire from Resident Evil Code Veronica, and that is my personal favorite old school Resident Evil with the fixed camera angles. And I'd be okay if they gave it a behind the shoulder camera like they've been doing. I actually really like that a lot. There's just something about the fixed camera angles that makes it feel like Resident Evil, and the backtracking. But yeah, it's just I just want to And then what about just the next mainline entry, Resident Evil 8? I guess that's being worked on. Resident Evil Village, I guess they're calling it. With, you can see the 8 kind of like Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. And I liked Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I actually still have it laying around here somewhere, and I do want to replay that on Madhouse. But I just think maybe Capcom is getting a little too, not greedy, but angsty because these games sell really well. I think Resident Evil 3 Remake is almost about to hit 2 million units sold already, which is really good. I mean, generally speaking, if you sell 1 million copies for your game, that's a hit in a developer's eyes. That's printing money right there, especially when you got DLC and stuff. But anyway, I just hope Capcom kind of maybe just really looks at what they're working on. Apparently, they've been working on Resident Evil 4 for a long time, and that's slated for a 2022 release. And apparently, we are going to get Resident Evil 8 in next year. So they're kind of doing these annual releases of Resident Evil games. They do make really good money. but there's just so many other IPs that they could do remakes of. Onimusha and Dino Crisis, and I still have yet to go and play those old school Dino Crisis, and I might have to, because they're basically Resident Evil games with dinosaurs. I mean, really, and that's why I love the gameplay. Just backtracking, getting items, conserving your ammo, so yeah, I love Capcom. I just hope that they can keep producing quality content, because yes, I did love Resident Evil 3 Remake. Okay, let's just back up. Loved Resident Evil 2 Remake. I thought every second was phenomenal. I think they perfected it in every way while still staying very true with the content. Resident Evil 3 Remake cut a lot out. It was a reimagining. It's so weird from them going from kind of true remake status, especially with the original that came out on GameCube. But it's just so weird for them that they went from this truly hardcore remake to more of a reimagining status with Resident Evil 3. I just really miss some moments. But hey, just go play the OGs if that's the experience you're looking for, right? I mean, so I guess we'll see. So yeah, but Resident Evil is definitely still alive and kicking. We will definitely be getting some Resident Evil. I mean, definitely for sure. I just really hope it's Code Veronica. But it's just funny how a lot of news has been leaked, and we barely had any time to breathe and let Resident Evil 3 Remake live a little bit. I did beat it at hardcore. I'm going to be beating it at Inferno and in Nightmare, so maybe I'll stream that. But I just have a general love for it, and I really hope my collector's edition will come soon. I know this is all blown over, but man, let's just keep going on here. Resident Evil, really excited. Let's just see where they're at. We've had a lot of leaked news. You can check that out. But yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, getting back on, speaking of getting our games and stuff, this is really should be the meat of the episode here. But yeah, let's just talk about my experience with GameStop. Let's just put that right up there. So yeah, a little bit about myself and my history. I worked for GameStop for about 4 to 5 years. Not consecutively. It was kind of here and there. Back in high school, I was working at a bank, and when I was getting into college, I was trying to get a job at GameStop for a long time. It's the one that I prefer was in a mall. I'd go there all the time, and I'd be bugging the guys all the time, who I became really good friends with eventually, and the manager is amazing, but I'll get into that. But I was bugging the guys for years, just trying to get a job at GameStop, and finally, ho-hum, they let me in. They gave me some hours when I was getting into college, and for that, it was like my dream job. I mean, really, I guess I didn't really know that gaming was my true passion until a couple of years ago, but I've always loved video games. My first PlayStation when I was 7 years old, I got my first copy of Resident Evil 2, which I showed you on my last DOOBISODE, I believe. But anyway, I finally got that job at GameStop. The manager told me, he says, look, this job isn't hard. It's kind of shitty. You're gonna get paid $7.25 an hour. You cool with that? And I'm like, you know what? Sure. I just love games, and I think that's a lot of people's thoughts going into GameStop. They don't really care about the pay. Like, yeah, they'd like more, but they kind of just like it because it's gaming, and would you work at JCPenney or GameStop? I don't know, but for me, I'd work at GameStop. So I finally got a job there, and I have a very unpopular opinion about GameStop. I love it. I think it's a great place where you can get that original experience where you go in the store, you can look at all the games on the wall, and just really have that in-store experience. I'm just not quite at the digital age yet, because I wouldn't be able to get cool stuff like my collector's edition of Resident Evil 2, or my awesome collector's edition of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, with Gohan and this awesome dragon and just this awesome statue here. I wouldn't get all this cool shit if I went to digital. So I love going to midnight releases. So just back on the GameStop thing. I had a lot of fun. I think no matter where you work, it's really the people that kind of create your experience with the place, even if the job itself isn't the greatest. But I had a great team. My manager was amazing. I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna mention names or anything, but he's an amazing lad, and he really formed my work ethic. And he was really a person that fought for the person more than the store, and I will always carry my experience with this man with me, and the other people that worked there. I think they were all amazing. We were all a tight-knit group, and for a while it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I was getting paid crap, but I loved having the games, and GameStop had a system where you could rent games, and you only got a 15% discount stuff. I mean, that's something though, right? I was just doing it kind of for the perks and just because I love gaming and I love talking about games. And during Black Friday, it would get pretty hard, and you're like, okay, yeah, video games. Here's Call of Duty. Here's Call of Duty, over and over again. But yeah, I just loved having the experience, and eventually I actually started working there when they just were initiating the Power Up Rewards program with the little silver card, and we had this guy come in, and I remember, like, you know, my manager was like, hey, can you be at this time in this place? And I'm like, yeah, I can be there. And it was just funny being at night with a bunch of GameStops from, you know, there's 3 GameStops in the city that I live. One actually finally closed down. I didn't, you know, it's funny seeing the real life effects of GameStop kind of slowly shutting its doors. There's been a lot of stingy news with the CEO, Sherman. His name is George Sherman. I can't remember, something Sherman. But there hasn't been a lot of good news, especially recently with GameStop. But you know, maybe I'll get into that. But just my experience, I actually had a really fun time working there. And yeah, and actually the Power Rewards program does work if you trade your games in effectively and as soon as possible. I wouldn't be able to afford half the things I have if it wasn't for GameStop. I mean, I know this is an unpopular opinion. I'm going to keep restating that, but they really drove me through the forest of acquiring the games I like, the physical copies, the cool steel books, and I got a bunch of swag. I think anyone who's worked at GameStop for a long time has a bunch of swag, and I had a lot of cardboard cutouts. I had this cool LA Noire thing. But yeah, GameStop just rang true with me because I really developed a good team and it felt like the first job I really enjoyed going to for the most part. But then it started getting ugly. Numbers were being pushed more. You know, this was at the start of this was really when Xbox 360 and PS3 were riding hot, and GameStop was at an all-time high with trade-ins and making money. And then, you know, the decline happened when the digital age started going through. But I remember working at GameStop, we would just get crappy, junky, COVID-infested Xbox 360s, and it was kind of nasty, and it was a lot of hard work because you didn't get paid very well, and maybe your boss would buy you lunch or something every now and again. But I really just did it for experience, and I made a lot of good friends there. It was a really good time, and I think that's why maybe I still care about GameStop so much is the nostalgia factor for me. I still love going, or used to love going, to my local GameStop and just looking at stuff and having that experience of going in the shop. You just don't really get that anymore with the digital aids. It's just not fun looking at your TV screen with all the games. Yeah, all the games are spread out, but going in there and picking up the case and looking at it, and maybe you did get a cool conversation with a guy at GameStop, and maybe you actually formed a friendship there, because, you know, generally I think if you work at GameStop, you probably like something. You're probably nerdy or like the games. Yeah, the customers always not the best. It's always a double-edged sword with customer and workforce interactivity there. You know, it's easy to get in a fight. It's easy to disagree. But at the end of the day, I had a great time, and especially at the start of my GameStop, my GameStop working period. I was there for a very long time. I worked at all 3 GameStops in the city that I lived in, and even the GameStop Kids. They had a GameStop Kids that came out in the mall as well. So I had a GameStop and a GameStop Kids. I don't really know why they tried that. It was when Angry Birds was really big. The Wii U was just coming out. People, man, the Wii U, what a funny little console that was. There was just Angry Birds shit everywhere though. And what was it? The Skylanders. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember Skylanders, but back when the Amiibo craze was at its all-time high, man, just talking about this, it's just all coming back to me now. But bottom line, I had some really great relationship. The people that I've worked for with GameStop, at least on my level, all were on the same page. In my managers, and then it just became more money. But bottom line, GameStop was a lot of fun, and it's just kind of sad to see it in the state it's been. There's been, I guess, sexual harassment charges against some of the people, and I don't know any of these people. I'm not going to get into it here. I'm not here for that, but it's just really sad to see it kind of die down, and because I like that experience of having a true game store to go to, and it does work. I'm telling you, I know a lot of the sports games will only give you maybe a buck or two, if that, but if you trade recent releases and you play your games and you work it right, you can find yourself getting a lot of cool discounts and coupons, and I just got to give huge praise to the people that the GameStop that I've gone to, for them helping me, making sure I'm taken care of, because I like my collector's editions, and some of these you only have a day to pre-order, like the Resident Evil 3 collectors that I can't wait to go and finally get. Some of these is hard, like right back behind me here, I have a lot of my trophies and stuff right back there. You can see Goku, and I have God of War and Last Guardian and all those guys. It's just easier to trade these games and put a couple bucks towards these really expensive collectors. And the guys at GameStop, if you find your right GameStop and you find your right place, it just makes this whole experience so much easier, because I love gaming, I love the swag, and I don't live in a huge office where they just mail everything to me like all these other cool gaming sites and stuff where they just get the swag for free. But anyway, yeah, GameStop, I really salute you. I worked there for so long, and I gotta say though, pretty much everyone I worked with was nice, understanding, and caring. Maybe not so much on the authority, on the higher up seniority side of things, but everyone I worked with at a store, thank you so much. If you ever watch this or are there and you worked with me at GameStop, thank you so much for making that experience great for me. I actually really do appreciate GameStop for what it did, and for me it'll always be EB Games. I don't know if you guys know, or Funko Land. I don't know if you remember those old store, or like Zany Brain Games or something like that. Yeah, GameStop actually bought it's a conglomerate. It bought EB Games and all those other stores that I mentioned. But yeah, but anyway, speaking of that, so I also did work for next after GameStop, I was kind of just about to graduate college, and I was working for Best Buy for a little bit, and I wanted to go into this is actually really funny. I wanted to go into the gaming department, but this is when Best Buy was just switching to their lifestyles department, and the gaming department wasn't its own thing. They kind of meshed together appliances, music, and gaming, and like cameras into one thing. So I had to work all these things. I don't know shit about cameras or washers, especially. I would always hate when they put me there. But I think, Best Buy was restructuring, and they thought they didn't need a specific guy just for each parts. Although I would go hide in the music store when that was a thing. They even took down the music departments. I don't know if you guys have walked into a Best Buy. We haven't walked into a Best Buy recently, but before all this happened, a lot of the music stuff, just the whole like home theater and all those cool departments, they kind of wiped those out. I think again is because of the online thing, and a lot of people just buy their stuff online, and they don't really need these whole full room experiences like I need. I really needed to see the technology at hand for me to justify a purchase. I just needed to get a new computer. Now I don't know when I'm going to get one anymore, because I don't want to buy it online. I really do need to talk to someone, especially now that I'm getting into this podcasting and gaming channel. But Best Buy was a different beast. Talking strictly from a corporate standpoint, Best Buy felt way more corporate than GameStop. GameStop, I think, all the nerds kind of were on the same level about stick it to the man and stuff, and you walk into Best Buy, it's kind of the same with the word. All of them have tattoos or dyed hair. Best Buy, they kind of hire the nerds, but when I was working there, it felt very more uniformly structured. I didn't really enjoy my time at Best Buy. I like the people I work with, but you actually do have a sales quota there. GameStop, I did have a quota selling gameplay guarantees, GPGs, or sub subscriptions to Game Informer, or more realistic, or more specifically, the GameStop card. They wanted you to at least get one of those a day or something like that. I mean, sometimes it was unrealistic, sometimes realistic, but that's what they just were pushing for a while. But yeah, Best Buy you had to sell $400 a day was your quota. $400 a day. Granted, you could get that in one sale, but it was just hard, and I felt like I was always kind of under the microscope a little bit. If you ever work at Best Buy, there's cool perks and other sales and discounts you can get through other stores through working through Best Buy. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't recommend. I just don't recommend corporate in general, really. I don't recommend working at a corporate place. If you're hurting for money and you get hired, sure, do it by all means. Go apeshit. But they will stick you in other places. Like when I was trying to sell a camera or a washer. Oh, I loathed that, man. I hated that. But you had to fake it till you make it. But then there were times when I did go to the gaming department. I actually did make some big sales because I could talk about games and I got people excited. But yeah, just back at the GameStop, I just wanted to mention that my first midnight release working at GameStop was for Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, and that was a lot of fun. I loved working the midnight releases. There was just so many other cool perks working at GameStop. I know I'm kind of switching back from GameStop to Best Buy, but it just kind of all ring in my head, and I really wanted to mention that. I love the midnight releases. We had like Red Bull dudes show up. This doesn't happen at all anymore. When I go to a midnight release at GameStop, it's like me and like 3 other fat guys, and but when I go to GameStop, when I used to work the midnight releases for Skyrim, my first one was Halo 2. By the way, I actually do. I see my steelbook. I'm too lazy to grab it, but I do have my first ever steelbook, Halo 2. You know what? I'm gonna grab it just because I can. Yeah, here we go, guys. Yep, this is it. This is the first midnight, and this is the first collector's I ever got. The Halo 2, the case. It's still here. It's a little beat up, but this is it. Maybe this looks familiar to some guys, but this is my first steelbook, and I can't believe just looking at this. I remember me and my buddies were just like, oh yeah, we saw each other at the midnight release, and we were up until like 7 a.m. because it was on a school night. I think this was still when games are coming out Tuesdays. And just so many cool memories with GameStop, and it's so nostalgic. But yeah, so working at the midnights were a lot of fun. And, I just love that experience, and with the Rebel guys and tattoo people, and everyone was just excited for the game. You just don't really get that anymore, and I just wanted to talk about that and share that with you guys, because let me know if you were at a midnight release. That was really cool. I think if my buddy Jeff is still watching, we went to the God of War midnight. There was actually a good crowd there, especially for games like Death Stranding. I've been to all of them. And actually, speaking of GameStop, I really do appreciate their 9 p.m. releases. That's the quickest way that the general public can get these games, actually, because I think you can't actually download or start the game until like 11 p.m. I know there's pre-downloads and stuff, but I don't think you can actually start the game till like 11 o'clock or midnight. And at GameStop, you can get it at 9 p.m. for first in line. That's how I got all my games super early, and now I can stream these games super early. And actually, Best Buy did do this for Resident Evil 3 and Final Fantasy. Huge kudos to them for letting me pick those games up early. But yeah, and but okay, so Best Buy was pretty meh, and the mehest of them all is Target. I worked at Target. God, I think people do enjoy working at Target. I don't know how or why or when or who or where, but I think I was more of a mess coming out of college. I was a little I didn't really have direction. I wasn't really sure what I was doing, so I worked at Target for a little bit after I graduated, and I for lack of a better term, I was kind of a drunken mess a lot. But I still showed up and did my job, and it's a 3 strikes you're out rule with them, and I was just late a little bit too many times, and so they did kick me off. But I just feel like they pretend like they want to work with you, but they really don't. Like, they are cool and genuine, but I actually still was. I remember I was finishing up graduating, and I was just so busy with everything, and they just don't work with you on your schedule at all. And I'm not really trying to I'm not really trying to hate on Target right now, but it's a hard experience. You really do have to be committed to them. They're not committed to you. You're committed to them. And it did feel very similar to Best Buy. Best Buy also has a 3 strikes you're out rule. But Best Buy worked with me a little bit more with my schedule, whereas Target is just like, nope, you gotta work that or you're fired. Nope, see you later, mom. And I did work with cool people. The people there were also really cool. But I mean, you're working in a huge, basically convenience store where you don't know where the hell this one little pen is out of like a million different items. And this old 70-year-old geriatric lady is screaming at you like, where's my pens? And you're just like, oh my god, the workforce. So now I actually, okay, so just a little bit more about me is now I currently work in a restaurant, and I gotta say, you will get those people, but I so recommend working for more family employee owned workplaces, because I've never gotten so much. I was amazed by the leeway I got when I started working for a restaurant, and just having a little bit more leniency there. I haven't felt more like a family than where I work now. Even granted things, I'm grateful to be working when I can and still making a little money right now. And happy stimulus check day, by the way. Hopefully you guys are getting that. But it's just the journeys we all take and the experiences that really form us and give us perspective. So it's really good to try different things. I know I'm sounding a little cliche here, but it's funny how life kind of takes us from A to B. And, at the end of the day, maybe we find something we enjoy that we would have never expect ourselves to be in for so long. And I'm just really grateful for the people that I feel like take care of me. So try, if you guys work for a place that cares about you, I guess this is the big message and theme I'm shooting here, is work for a place that actually gives a shit about you and will fight for you. And that's really hard if you're working for a corporate company. Bottom line, it's just really hard, and it's ugly and it's gross and it's disgusting. So don't even try to get in if you can help it. I know jobs are scarce right now. I know it's hard. It's going to be really weird when all this COVID-19 thing is blowing over. It could be a while, but if you're looking for jobs and you got to take that corporate job, by all means, go for it. Just be careful, stick to your guns, and stay true to who you are. Because it can change you. They can really form you, and you can. I just remember being really unhappy for a little while, working at Best Buy and Target. Gamestop maybe towards the end, but overall it was okay. But yeah, Best Buy and Target, it changes you, and you get really frustrated. But you're also, it's hard to kind of like not be appreciative, to just have a job when so many people don't. So I guess that's kind of a theme, is appreciate the little things. I know I'm kind of quoting Zombieland here a little bit. I did just see Zombieland 2, really liked it, by the way. But appreciate the little things. It's the journeys we take, and a lot of it can be hard, but even in jobs, in the ways we earn a living, hopefully can be enjoyable for the most part. Otherwise, move on. Just move on. It's not worth it if you're unhappy. Everything is subjective in the way that we learn and we grow and we grasp our experiences. So just take the little tidbits and really kind of build yourself up in the way that you want to, in a way you want to grow and where you want to be. Set goals. I know I'm kind of getting off topic here, but I just really want you guys to be happy, and I just want to share maybe even the littlest of advice or tidbits of info that got me through. And it's just great to finally be here talking about video games. And it's just really hard I'm building something here, starting something from scratch, but it's amazing, it's wonderful, and you guys really do make it. Thank you for watching. I mean, it wouldn't be as worth it if I didn't have someone watching. I know I say that I'm not in it for the fame or the fortune, but it's just really good to have a conversation, and for you guys to be here watching me just kind of enjoying and talking and eventually playing some dirt video games, because we go dirt on the dirt, and, and I just can't wait to hop back into Neo or Final Fantasy or even Resident Evil. I've been playing a lot of games right now. So yeah, that was just kind of and just kind of the state of the industry. Yeah, just the other quick little tidbit of news is, yeah, the ESRB, there is the loot box thing is still going on throughout all of this crazy mess. There is still news. So I guess the ESRB is adding a label on games for teen rating. I think is that there is random. So how so we got T for teen and M for mature and all for that. So yeah, some games might have a random items label loot box. And I guess that's how EA is getting or the ESRB. I don't know who's in bed with who, but that's how they're getting around this whole loot box thing. I think loot boxes are ugly DLC. There is good DLC and there's bad DLC, and loot boxes are the bad DLC. They really just put an ugly mark on the beautiful thing that is gaming. It's something that it's just a money-grubbing asshole corporate company, sometimes like Best Buy and Target. At the end of the day, it's a business. We're all here to make money, I guess. But yeah, it's the ESRB. I thought they were for just I'm trying to even find the right word for it, but I thought they were for like making sure games were monetized the right way. And I hate that I said monetized, but regulated the right way. And I can't believe they're letting this loot box thing pass. I think in other countries they're banned and EA can't sell these loot boxes to people, but that's just another little tidbit of news I thought was interesting, is that I guess they're just adding, on the ESRB rating that, hey, this game might contain loot boxes and you might have to waste a bunch of money to get something that you don't actually want. So, hey, cheers, $60, man, on top of another $50, man. See you later, Mom. So that you'll just spend $120 on this game. I think my buddy Jeff, actually, when he got Star Wars, Star Wars Battlefront 2 started this whole mess, this whole conversation, essentially. Because when you bought Star Wars Battlefield 2, so you buy the game for $60, and then I think the season pass was another $60. So you're like, I'm buying a $120 game here because really you're going to want the season pass. I mean, you want that new content, but man, at that price, it just sickens me. It just makes me cringe thinking about it. I mean, I do spend a lot of money on video games. Granted, I spend it on the collector's editions, and yeah, they don't come with the best things all the time, but I love it, and I'm willing to spend my money on it, even though maybe I'm getting shafted and I don't get the season pass. I actually got to give a huge shout out to Neo 2. The special edition for including the season pass in the collector's box. I was impressed. I don't think they did that for Dragon Ball Kakarot, but I really give a shout out to those companies that really do throw you the extra bone there. But yeah, getting off topic just a little bit. I just kind of want to talk about the industry as a whole and kind of how gaming is right now with this whole COVID nonsense. I know we're kind of getting almost in the hour here. I kind of want to keep these doobisodes within an hour. But I just have a lot to say. I have a lot of commentary to say. I just want to make sure I got all my notes here. I got my little handy-dandy notebook to make sure we're just talking about all the things that we want to talk about. But I think we pretty much got everything here, guys. Thank you for bearing with me. It's just a real road. A real road that this gaming thing that we try and we love and we want to enjoy. But yeah, just a huge shout out to you guys. Just a huge general shout out to everyone watching me, having a good time, and for you guys just commenting. And yeah, I'm the young Heisenberg for a while. My hair will hopefully grow back. But yeah, just find the things to look forward to right now, guys. It's I think we pretty much have, the games for me. It looks like we are getting this Dark Pictures anthology in summer, but I think a lot of the big games that came out. Oh yeah, by the way, PS Plus or PlayStation is starting a stay-at-home incentive, and if you guys can download the Uncharted Collection and Journey for free. I don't even think you need to be a PS Plus member. You can just download Yeah, Uncharted Collection, the remastered trilogy by Blue Point Games, by the way, which I'm really hoping we are getting that Demon Souls remaster for PS5 or whatever is coming on. But yeah, Blue Point Games, huge shout out to them, and they actually did remaster this Uncharted trilogy. And then we have Journey, I think, and I can't remember if that was a PS Plus game at one point, but both really great games. And right now, if you do have PS Plus, you can actually download Uncharted 4, so you can essentially play all the Uncharted's right now. 1, 2, 3, and 4, start to finish for free if you have Plus. But I think you don't need Plus for Journey and Uncharted Collection, so make sure you hop on that. I think Sony is doing a really good initiative there to just check that out. But yeah, so just wanted to say that, yeah, we talked about the Star Wars thing, the fond memories, the Best Buy, the Targets. So yeah, guys, I think we pretty much covered everything in this exciting Doobisode. And thank you all for watching here. And if you have any comments, if you worked at GameStop or Best Buy or Target, please let me know. In the comments, if you work there, how you feel about Resident Evil 3 or the Resident Evil remakes, or which one we're getting next. It sounds like we're getting them, but in what quality, in what content-driven state will they be in when they release? Who knows? But yeah, I just want this to be more interactive dialogue. If you guys want to talk to me, and all that good stuff, it's been real fun. I probably will be streaming some Neo or something today, Final Fantasy, just to get a little more lighthearted. I know I kind of got serious with my experiences there, but yeah, guys, don't want to take any more of your time. Thank you so much for watching this Doobisode. Hope you're staying safe. Hope you're having a great day. Hope all your loved ones are having a great day. Or what I've been saying, hope you're having the best day you can. It's kind of hard to have a great day right now. And yes, this thing has been getting me a little bit. I think that's why I just did the buzz look. I was just getting sick of showering and working on it and all that. So I just had to go fresh Heisenberg for you folks. That's okay though, because we still had the same DoobRadical coming at you live with all the dirty content and all the dirt McGurts. So just hit that bell, please like, share, subscribe, and I'm just gonna end on this note here. If we can get to that 100 subs by the end of the month, we will play Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater in one run, non-lethally, because that's how we do things here. We do it as dirt as we can. But yeah, guys, have a great rest of your day. Try to, or at least as best you can. And as always, we'll be right back.